Welcome back to the Real Crimson Files. Tonight's investigation takes us into the shadowy world of police surveillance, where the line between crime prevention and civil rights violations became dangerously blurred. For 8 years, London's Metropolitan Police maintained a secret database containing the names, photos, and personal details of over 3,000 young men, most of them black, many of them guilty of no crime except living in the wrong neighborhood. They called it the Gangs Matrix. Critics called it institutionalized racism in digital form. In 2025, the Matrix was finally shut down, but not before it had destroyed lives and eroded trust between police and communities. This is the story of how good intentions became a system of oppression. The Gangs Matrix was launched in 2012 as a response to rising gang violence in London. The concept seemed logical: create a database of known gang members, their associates, and potential recruits to help police predict and prevent violence. But the system quickly expanded beyond its original scope. Young men were added to the matrix based on the flimsiest evidence, being seen with someone already on the list, living in certain postcodes, or even their music preferences and social media activity. The matrix used a traffic light system: green for low risk, amber for medium, red for high. But the criteria for classification were deeply flawed. Young black men were disproportionately marked as high risk, often without any criminal record or evidence of gang involvement. Being on the matrix had devastating consequences. It affected employment opportunities, housing applications, and even child custody decisions. Social services would flag families if a parent was on the list, and employers would reject job applications after police checks revealed matrix status. Marcus Thompson was 16 when he was added to the matrix. His crime? Being friends with someone whose older brother was allegedly in a gang. For the next 6 years, Marcus faced constant police harassment, was stopped and searched dozens of times, and was rejected from multiple jobs despite having no criminal record. "They treated me like a criminal before I'd done anything wrong," Marcus says. "It made me angry, made me resentful. They created the very thing they were trying to prevent." Civil rights lawyers began challenging the matrix in court, arguing it violated human rights and amounted to racial profiling. Internal police documents revealed shocking bias. 78% of those on the matrix were black, despite black people making up only 13% of London's population. Even more damaging, academic research showed the matrix was ineffective at preventing crime. Young men on the list were no more likely to commit violent offenses than those who weren't, undermining the entire justification for the system. In March 2025, after years of legal pressure and public criticism, the Metropolitan Police announced they would shut down the Gangs Matrix. Commissioner Sarah Chen admitted the system had caused harm to communities and individuals, and promised a complete review of intelligence gathering practices. But the damage was done. An entire generation of young black men had been criminalized by an algorithm, their futures limited by a database they often didn't even know they were on. The Gangs Matrix scandal exposed the dangers of predictive policing and algorithmic bias. What began as a well-intentioned effort to prevent gang violence became a system of digital stop and frisk that disproportionately targeted minority communities. The case highlights broader questions about police surveillance in the digital age. As law enforcement agencies increasingly rely on data analytics and artificial intelligence, the risk of encoding bias into these systems grows exponentially. For the thousands of young men affected by the matrix, its closure comes too late. Years of harassment, missed opportunities, and broken trust cannot be easily repaired. The system that was supposed to protect communities instead drove a wedge between police and the people they serve. The matrix may be gone, but its legacy remains. A stark reminder that in the pursuit of public safety, we must never sacrifice the fundamental rights and dignity of the communities we claim to protect. As London moves forward from this dark chapter, the challenge remains. How do we prevent crime without criminalizing entire communities? The answer will determine whether trust between police and public can ever be fully restored.